Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night wherever you are around the world. You are very welcome to our exclusive coverage of the big one. It's the North Dakota Finals 2011 featuring on the left of screen Mr. Lance Gehring and on the right it's Jesse Heid coming to you from Paradox Comics and Cards in North Dakota. I'm your host Rich Hagon saying hi, and away we go. You can see the action is getting underway. There's Think Twice at end of turn from Lance. He untaps. And what are we going to see here? Well, that looks like land number 3. That'll be an isolated chapel. He's going to pass the turn. And back we go to Jesse Heid. Turn 3. His first play of the game. Oh, no, changes his mind, says, tell you what, actually, it's your turn. And now here is end of turn. It's Forbidden Alchemy from Lance. So, 4 cards go into hand. 3 of them will hit the graveyard. Let's see what he decides to pitch. That looks to me like a Timely Reinforcements, Phantasmal Image, and a not terribly relevant Dark Slick Shores. So we go to Lance, and in upkeep, we're going to see Beast Within for the Drowned Catacombs. Alright, so there's a 3-3 for Lance on the left of your screen. And I think we're actually going to get a proper token. There it is. Because that was upkeep, no, it won't be attacking. It's not that good, I'm afraid. So Glacial Fortress comes down, and we go back to Jesse on your right. Land number 4, what are we going to see? Here it comes any minute now. And it's like it's in spin animation, and tiptoe it over, there it goes. And that's a Copperline Gorge. Wait, now, wouldn't that be tapped? I think it probably would. I suspect that needs to be tapped, that Copperline Gorge. Meanwhile, we're going for Green Sun's Zenith for 2. Yes, it is indeed tapped. So, Green Sun Zenith for 2. And he will then just have a quick check at his hand. Says, yeah, okay, for 2. Off he goes. And what will he get here? I guess this could be something like a Viridian Emissary. Look at that. It's like I read his mind. So, Viridian Emissary for Jesse. Here playing for the big one. The one that really matters. You can keep your Pro Tours. You can keep your Worlds. And you can certainly keep your playoffs. That's what I say. Honestly, someone should write a book about that. Someone probably has. So, there's Viridian Emissary. End of turn, there was Flashback Think Twice from Lance. So he has his 3-3, which can now attack, should he feel the urge. Let's see what he's going to do here. And just looking at 3 land at the moment. Remember that Drowned Catacombs bit the dust. That's why he has a Beast Within token there. And full grip of cards as we wait to see whether there is a land number 4. It's a replacement Drowned Catacombs, alright, fair enough. And the turn will go back. And Jesse is going to lay land number 5. There it is, a very pretty forest. Not a lot of action here in the early stages of the Finals 2011. No point in running the Viridian Emissary into the Beast, so presumably there'll be no attack here. I'll say it's been another tremendous weekend of states all over, the 11s, as they're called. Lots of independent TOs all over North America, busy running independently put together tournaments, and it's great to be as part of such a great venue. Must say I had a fantastic time with all my good friends in Fargo earlier this year. Great to be with you all, and great to be with you here through the magic of the internet. So, we're going to see end of turn Think Twice. And Lance will untap. And we're going to see another upkeep Beast Within. And last time it was targeting Drowned Catacombs. And are we going to see? Yes, it's the same again. So he really wants to keep Lance off the blue-black land. It's quite, yeah, fair enough. So Lance has a think about that and says, okay, that's gone. So there will be a second Beast token about to put in an appearance. And he will attack, presumably, with the first token. He says, oh yeah, better have that actual second beast token. Seems a bit unfair for you just to kill my drowned catacomb and me get no bonus back. There was a beast within after all. And this time, rather than running it in on a suicide mission, it's a very straightforward choice for Jesse. He says, yeah, I'm going to put my Viridian Emissary in the way, and I'll go get a forest, save myself some life. And I wasn't in any rush for that extra land, but now that it's here, thank you so much. So, we're still early in game one. You've got to say those beasts within, they're starting to mount up in terms of threats. It's like 2 green men in a black-blue-white deck. Very strange board position right now. As Jesse untaps, he lays what looks to me like a root-bound crag. And 4, 5, 6. That says Primeval Titan. That says Mana Leak. That's not a big surprise. Tell you what, I'll counter that. And then, wait, is that a second land from Jesse? I think it is. Oops, put that back in hand. That bad boy. I don't think so. Good job there were some high-level judges on hand for that one. So back we go to Lance, who has his 2 beasts, which now don't have a Primeval Titan in their path. So one imagines that will be 6 damage coming through unimpeded. And that'll in fact be the first damage of the match. So it will be Lance taking the lead here in game 1 and therefore in the match. It'll be, I guess, 20 to 14 if my sums do me right. And let's see what Lance comes up with. There it is. Turn those 2 rather lovely sort of warthoggy type guys sideways into the black and white zone, as it is here at Paradox. And that 6 damage comes through. So, now what? Graveyard filling up. Oh, and there's a Planeswalker. It's Liliana of the Veil. And Liliana gets a counter. Both players are going to have to discard. Looks to me like Jesse's down to just a couple of cards. Lance, 2 or 3 there. But Liliana, double beast. Things are looking pretty promising right now for Lance Gehring here in Game 1 of the 2011s at Paradox Comic and Cards. So, what have we got now? Green Sun Zenith for 43 trillion. Well, actually, 6. What does that get? That gets a Primeval Titan. That resolves, and that gets me Inkmoth Nexus and the rather fabulous Kessig Wolf Run. If you've not done much playing with Kessig Wolf Run, either for or against, it's a big player in Standard right now. I can assure you it's the real deal. Very, very entertaining card. Plus X, plus naught, and Trample. Trample, one of the finest words in Magic. Right behind Draw a Card, which as we know are the 3 most exciting words in the game. So, well, we've got the Green Sun Zenith into Primeval Titan, and now, bad news, Liliana, -2, sacrifice a creature. I'll choose my Primeval Titan. Good plan. Beast token attacks twice more, so 20 down to 8. Things are starting to look very grim for Jesse here. Let's see what he comes up with. That looks like just an unexciting mountain. He's got all the land in the world. He just hasn't got anything to do with it right now, it would seem. I guess he can activate his Inkmoth Nexus and attempt a, one-shot poison deal here. I guess that's the play, but it really doesn't seem to be doing very much right now. Let's see what he thinks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 mana. That's it. That's all he's got. So, yep, looks like he's going to activate Inkmoth. And, oh, are we about to see 2 mana Doomblade? Yeah, so that sends that packing. Thing is, with the Kessig Wolf Run, that's a lot of damage all in one go. And that's why Kessig Wolf Run's a bit of a beating. Green Sun Zenith again. So what have we got here? Snapcaster Mage gets flashed out, and then I'm going to bring Mana Leak out of the graveyard. Okay, and that Mana Leak counters. So then, Sir, Mer, A, Sir, Her, spell Smash. And that, my friends, is 1-0, and Lance Gehring takes the lead. So what about sideboarding then? Well, it looks to me like from our friendly Brian Hellevang down on the floor, it looks like Lance has brought in Surgical Extraction, 2 of those, 2 Sever the Bloodline, 2 Flash Freeze, and a Negate. Out have gone the Think Twice, Timely Reinforcements, and Lone Batter Skull. As for Jesse, 6 in, 6 out, 3 Thrown the Last Troll, 3 Sword of Feast and Famine, and coming out, Worm Coil Engines and Slagstorm. So, we're into game 2. Jesse, on the right of screen, remember, has decided to play his mulligan to 6, so not a great start. Copperline Gorge opposite Glacial Fortress, then a second Copperline Gorge opposite Swamp, then Forest. Still no action here in the early turns. So we see Glacial Fortress come down for Lance, who's 1 to the good, remember here. And the Glacial Fortress comes into play tapped, and here's the first beast within, targeting... looks like it decided to take out the Swamp on that one, so denying the black mana. Now we see one of the checklist cards, and that turns out to mean lays Inkmoth Nexus first, and that is Garrett Relentless, leaves it at 0 and says, I'm going to have a 2/2 wolf. They don't learn, do they? See all those tokens at the top of the screen? They're for you, guys. Yes, you're so important, you get to play with tokens. It's very exciting. It's just like the Pro Tour Final, this, really, except I don't have BDM to tell me where I'm going wrong. So, on we go. Drowned Catacombs, the Beast token comes in, aimed at Garrick, so the Wolf token gets in the way. And we go back to Jesse, lays a Forest, and taps 2 land. What's this for? It's Viridian Emissary, just like we saw in Game 1. I imagine we're going to see another Wolf token. We are, straight in there with the actual token, good boy. And Garrick will remain with his +0 ability there. So... back we go to the left of screen. It's Lance going 1 to the good. He has Beast token, and he is facing Wolf and Viridian Emissary. The Viridian Emissary will get in the way of the attack because Garrick is what Lance is trying to get rid of, but the Viridian Emissary says, I don't think so, not right now, thanks so much. Go and fetch a Forest. And Garrick will remain there, and Jesse is 1 wolf to the good now. And the chance to generate more as he continues to press. And now we see, what's that, another end of turn beast within. This time it's Drowned Catacombs. He really does not want to allow Lance black mana. Didn't really work out for him in game 1 though, so be interesting to see how this resolves itself. On we go. On the right of screen, Jesse draws for the turn. That's a Kessig Wolf run. We saw it be a bit of a threat in game 1, but it didn't get him there. Looks like he's activating his Inkmoth Nexus. He's going to send it in. He is. And he's going to activate his Wolf run. So this time the Inkmoth Nexus gets +2. That'll be poison up to 3. Won't be long. Garrick takes another Wolf token by just spending +0 loyalty. So... Lance, it is about time that you got rid of that Garrick. It is about time that you dealt with that Kessig Wolf run. It's about time you dealt with that Inkmoth Nexus. That's quite a shopping list, and I don't think you're going to have very long to do it. In come the Beast tokens. They're aimed at Garrick once again. No surprise there. And looks like Jesse, he went to block with both Wolf tokens, and then is he going to try and take one out? He can sort of go 4 against 3. That is what he's going to do. 4 power against 3 power. So... at that point, looks like, yeah, because he gets one of those back. He doesn't lose both of them. That's the whole point. And then one comes in, and at that point, looks like a discard there. Yes, it is a Worm Coil Engine. Wow. Okay, so looks like that mana denial strategy is really paying dividends here in game 2 for Jesse. He's going to activate his Inkmoth Nexus again. Kessig Wolf Run will give another +2. Poison is up to 6. And I think we're closing in on a poison victory here. 6-0 is the count. Badly needs land on the left-hand side of your screen. 3 mana in play. It's going to send the beast in. That's not going to be good enough, I'm afraid. Looks to me like Jesse's closing in. Yeah, I'm going to stick the wolf in the way. I'm just doing fine over here. I've got my Inkmoth Nexus. I've got my Kessig Wolf Run. It's the lands that are going to kill you, my friend. That is the deal as we stand here in Game 2. Are we going to see a pulsating final game in the finals of 2011? Here we go. Ooh, Forbidden Alchemy? Puts a land. There's a Plains going into the graveyard there. Can't quite make out the other 2. There is a 4th land, but it's one of those comes into play tap lands, Drowned Catacombs, so that's not going to help him. Here we go again. Inkmoth Nexus, activate, Kessig Wolf Run. This time it's not +1, it's not +2, it's +3, 10-0, poison. And that, my friends, is 1 game all. So let's go to the decider. I've got to tell you that on the left of screen, Lance Gehring, who led by 1-0 in this best of 3, he had to mulligan to 6. He had to mulligan to 5. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag here. He opens on Isolated Chapel, Mountain on the right of your screen for Jesse. No play, no second land for Lance. He took a 1-lander down to 5 and rubbing salt into the wounds. There it is. That's the sound effect of salt rubbing in the wounds. It's I'll go and get more land with Rampant Growth. Thanks. Lay the root-bound crag, Rampant Growth, go and fetch a forest. I'm 3-1 up. Still no play from Lance. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Oh, there's Kessig Wolf Run. What's coming out now? It's Garrick Relentless. Gonna make a 2-2 Wolf token. This is a bit of car crash magic, I'm afraid, if you're a Lance Gehring fan. Sorry, Lance Gehring's mum. Sorry, Lance Gehring's mum and dad and auntie. This is trouble. Land number 2. He needed that badly. It was Seachrome Coast, but he wouldn't want to be playing that untapped on turn 4. Dearie me, no. The Wolf is going to come in from Jesse Heid. He's at 1-1 here. 18 to 20. Here's Rampant Growth. He's going to fetch himself a man. Looks like Green Sun Zenith. Now, is that Green Sun Zenith for 1? Think it is. And it looks like Lance is having a think about that. And, well, he's got 2 mana. I guess he could counter that, arguably. Let's see what happens here. Lance still looking very relaxed. You see his legs crossed on the left of the screen. There's Rampant Growth. Yes, that resolves. And then, right, okay, so he's saying, and now I'm going to go and search, is that alright? So I'll search twice. At that point, Lance says, I tell you what, how about no? Flash Freeze, what a great spell that is. Very situational, but so good out the board. So Flash Freeze says no to counter Green Sun Zenith, and then we're going to see another Wolf. So we go back to Jesse. It's Plains, it's Oblivion Ring. I'll give you no guesses what that's going to try and take out. It's going to be Garrick Relentless. More Garrick Relent, it turns out. So back we go to Jesse. Oh, Sword of Feast and Famine. He's going to equip the sword to the wolf token. In come the boys with the 2 wolf tokens. It's going to be 20 to 12. Lance is tapped out. He can't do anything about it. It's going to be a discard to the sword trigger from Lance here on the left. Let's see what he gets rid of. He's got plenty of choices because he hasn't played much so far this game. Just a Flash Freeze because the mana has let him down in the decider. Looks like a Doom Blade going away. Yes, indeed it is. Now, what have we got? Is this another Green Sun? Yes, looks to me. There you see it. Green Sun Zenith for 4. That could get something all kinds of good. Can't quite get him to Primeval Titan, but can get him to a card that really hasn't seen as much play as a lot of people thought it would since it arrived. That's Thrun the Last Troll. Tell you what, it could be very, very good for Jesse Heid right here. Let's see if that is going to bring him victory here in the final game of the 2011s, coming to you from Paradox Comics and Cards in Fargo, North Dakota. What a great store, what a great place. Rich Early, good man. Let's see how this closes out. We really need to see something good from Lance to make this a good game. What have we got? What have we got? He has 3 mana to work with, plenty of cards, but not plenty of mana. That's the deal with Magic. You can have all the powerful spells you want, but if you can't cast them, you're in trouble. So, Lance, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are looking at Wolf equipped with sword. Wolf, Thrun the Last Troll. You've used 1 Oblivion Ring. Do you have another? I think you could kind of do with it, to be perfectly honest. 3 mana, tap it, cast an Oblivion Ring round about now would be my advice, because otherwise you are looking at game over, man, game over. And yes, that's a quote from Aliens. So, here we go. 3, has he got it? Has he got it? Can't quite see his hand. 3 mana. That has to be the play if he's got one. He does. He has another Oblivion Ring. He's going to take out the wolf that's equipped. So that goes away. That's all he's got. Still no 4th land. So we go back to Jesse, who must still feel he's in terrific shape. He's going to equip the sword somewhere. Where's it going? Is that going on Thrun? Thrun or a wolf, one or the other. He's looking at his hand, but it seems to me like the answers are all on the board right now. Jesse, you don't need to do very much. Oh, okay, so there's another Sword of Feast and Famine. Yep, he's going to equip the sword to Thrun. Then he attacks, and the wolf. Check the life scores, it's 20-4. And there's going to be more discard to the sword trigger. So they're just checking what happens there. Yeah, it was Liliana of the Vale going away. Here's Garrick Primal Hunter. Garrick, I guess, is going to draw him a bajillion cards. It is. It's 6 cards, thanks to Thrun with the sword. Who gets to draw 6 cards in green? That's outrageous. Oh, Lance Gehring, I think your chance is in trouble here. I think you're almost done. Isolated Chapel. What a great feeling this must be for Jesse Heid. He's untapped. Here we go. This got to be it, surely. There's no instant Wrath of God for 4 that I can see coming here. Is this the last turn of the championship? I think it could be. Come on, Jesse, just hold it together. The finishing line is just a few taps away. Here we go. He puts his hand down. He can see the win on the table in front of him. I'm going to attack. In I come. Lance picks up his cards. Here we go. Snapcaster Mage, I'm going to get back Doomblade. I'm going to target the wolf. Okay, that makes sense. The wolf goes away. I'm going to block Snapcaster Mage on Thrun. I'm going to activate my Kessig Wolf Run, targeting Thrun for Trample, and that, my friends, is game, set, and match to Jesse Heid. It's rich early, but it's never too late to get down to Paradox Comics and Cards. I'm your host, Richard Hagon, saying bye.